Good morning. Welcome to subramani.com. Today I am going to address the IFAs and ask them whether they are in a position to ask some real tough questions when they meet clients or potential clients. I wouldn't ask a young IFA to try asking these questions in the first meeting. It's too risky. But maybe after you establish some relationship and before you've started investing, you should ask the client how does he define success? What is success? Who does he think is the most successful person he knows? Who is the most successful person he wants to imitate? What is financial success? How would he judge the IFA by what he achieves? Or things like this as to if the client were to get an X amount of money, let's say 5 crores, let's say 10 crores, would he give up what he's currently doing and do something else? I mean, is he working just for the money? There's nothing wrong with that. Or is he enjoying the work that he's doing? Right? I'm not even reached the risk questions. These are questions which the client has to answer much before he does his goal setting, because then you know from where he's coming and the kind of expectation he has. I want 14% return. I want 18% return. This does not come from any requirement of his. This comes from what he has been fed by the media. Ask a client, just turn it to him and say, why do you want an 18% return from equity? And the answer is he actually doesn't know. Also, the question is, how well do you prepare him for what is going to happen ahead? For example, a person selling a endowment plan with a 30-year pay is saying you will have to invest maybe 10,000 rupees a month for the next 30 years, and for 30 years I will not show you the portfolio. It's a classic endowment. It does not bother the client, right? Unfortunately, if you tell him that I am giving you a mutual fund where you can see the portfolio every day and you can redeem whenever you want, he then suddenly is worried about any liquidity problem. So what if I can't withdraw? You can't withdraw your endowment plan, correct? Of course, you can borrow against it, but that's not the purpose. The purpose is to let your money grow. So if you do not ask these basic questions as to why do you need liquidity, most people don't know. Everybody thinks they need complete liquidity in their complete portfolio always. Not true, because there's a fight between profitability and liquidity, right? So if you have to get into the basics of how a man thinks about money, what is his definition of success? What is financial success, right? And if you have values in life, how do you apply it? How do you apply it in your personal life, and how do you apply it in your business life? Correct? Not too many people will be able to answer these questions. That's a worry. So let us look at some of the questions which you should ask, and it's difficult to ask. Let me say both the things. Do I feel gratitude and do I express it often enough? Right? During COVID times, is this client cribbing about not being able to do anything? Or is he happy that he's got food on his table, he's got internet connection, he's got electricity connection, he's got water, and he's able to live, right? So does he have gratitude for things in life, or is he looking at cribbing about everything, right? This is all important. Nothing you're going to know about the client the first day that you meet him. All this is going to evolve, which means you need a client diary in which you write down all these things, otherwise you will forget. Of course, today software is available where you don't need a client diary, you can maintain it online, but all your feelings about this person, how he treats women, that's also important, because suddenly you will find that he'll say, I don't need to do this, or I need to do this, and you realize from where it's coming, right? Apart from his attitude towards money, you also have to have his attitude towards his family. His family's attitude towards money. There are some people who live a very simple life They could take a bus or a train, but their family has been accustomed to using a luxury car. There are people who will tell you that I cannot go to that place because there is no five-star hotel, right? You meet people from various, you would say, I wouldn't mind coming on a trek, but I can't even imagine bringing my family on a trek because my family is used to certain luxurious travel. They will not walk through the mountains, they will not walk through the forest, right? All those things you need to know about a client. Why would you want to know all those things? Simply because you need to ask them questions like, what if something changes dramatically in your life? If you were to die and there was problem in getting some medical insurance, some term insurance, how would your family react? Would they be devastated if the portfolio goes away? And it could happen. Today, it is very difficult to believe. I mean, the COVID lockdown has meant the biggest of people are sitting without work. So television stars have no work. Many doctors are not sure whether they'll get paid if they are on a salary, and practicing doctors have had their clinic shut, right? So whether you're a chartered accountant, whether you're a taxi driver, whether you're a doctor, it's clamped down. Complete lockdown has happened. So how will the client react in such cases? I can assure you that when you tell a person that you have invested in a bond fund and this bond fund is extra on yield, you have to compromise on liquidity. Clients don't understand. You have to show demonstrative effect. When clients invest in mid cap and small cap, you have to tell them after 5 years of investing, you can see a 30% fall in your portfolio. This is not easy to comprehend. I have put 10,000 every month for 5 years, which means I put 6 lakhs, and today it is worth 4 lakhs or it's worth 3,40,000, right? That's the kind of fall that has happened. Or let's take the Franklin Templeton issue, when the bond funds are stuck maybe for 6 months, 8 months, 2 years, depending on which fund. So it's not easy for people to understand and accept. Even people who do not need the money over the next 10 years will panic and say, what if I can't withdraw? Actually, you can't withdraw. It's more a liquidity issue, not a solvency issue. But no, nothing cuts ice. People just panic and then they react. So when you know all this about a client who is a doctor or a chartered accountant or a retired person or what have you, you are much better communicating with them later on about their requirements and their attitude. Attitude is not known by filling up a form or by talking. It takes a very long time, and especially an adversity, to know what the client really thinks, what the client really says, and how the client really behaves. And these three could be very different. So as an IFA, be very careful about how you're getting data from the client, how you're understanding and interpreting it. And once you interpret it, please get it ratified by the client, because tomorrow he'll say, I didn't understand the implication, right? Doctors spend a lot of time in getting consent, IFAs don't. That could be a problem in a market which could fluctuate a lot more than what you have seen in the past. Thank you.